Morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the penultimate Christmas meeting of Essex Business Forum.
I'm not premature. I was premature. This is very apt. But I'm not today. Today is the executive national.
You're right.
Yeah,
You are right.
Very right.
What's yours?
I just don't want someone hurling a premature abuse.
Right. Right, let's get on with the meeting. I'm able to, as you know, it's my job to get you through the meeting, through the agenda. I'm always assisted by the leadership team. They be outstanding and introduce themselves.
Good morning, all. I'm Paul Corrigan, Social Secretary.
I'm Vincent, I chair the membership committee and I'm also the official timekeeper.
Good morning. I'm Scott, your meeting secretary, and also handsome face of live chat.
Morning guys, Ben. Morning guys, Ben, education.
Okay, please be sitting. Thank you very much. Right, we're into the meeting. As I say, it's the penultimate one before Christmas. So let's try and be a bit lively. Let's get on with it. First up is the
Performance League, isn't this? And yes, Performance League, recess each month, and then we score points for doing things and these things turning up, for giving and receiving referrals, converting those to done deals, having one-to-one get-togethers with each other, commenting on the blog, loads of different ways to score different amounts of points to measure your contribution to the group. Target normally is 88 points each month as a benchmark that we want to try and achieve. Some months busier than others. December is always a bit of a strange one because we're not here for the whole month. Nevertheless, what it looks like after just 1 week recorded so far, position at the top. Third place, 63 points, so he's almost done his month in a week. It's Paul Booth. Second place, just 1 point further on, 64 points for Matt Barry. 75 points, current leader is you. Not me. Toes. Whatever you think of him, I took that dodgy referral off last week, so that's not on the contributing tables. So it's all genuine what's on there. Congratulations.
Well done.
And one way.
well done to me. Thanks, Scott. Right. The educational presentation.
Okie dokie, so going to hand it straight over today, drink to a treat, because none other than Stuart Smallcombe.
Morning all. Okay, this morning I just wanted to do a little bit on cyber attacks and cyber security and how you guys can help look after yourselves, basically. So we need to think of hackers, of like thieves walking through an orchard, okay? So the big businesses, the big corporations, they're the big tall trees, okay? They're heavily guarded, lots of layers of protection. The small businesses, you guys, us guys, we're the low-hanging fruit, okay? We're really easy to reach, we're less protected, and we're ripe for the picking. So let me just explain to you a little bit why hackers actually really like to target small businesses like us, and why often the weakest part of your business's security is not actually your passwords or your security software. It's actually quite often you. It's the people behind the screen. So many small businesses just think that they are actually too small to be targeted, too small to be noticed. Why would anybody be interested in me? And whilst big businesses obviously invest heavily in cyber security, small businesses often lack the resources, the knowledge, to do the same. And the hackers know this, okay? The hackers are smart. They see these small businesses such as us as an easy touch, okay? Weaker defences, you've still got valuable data, you've still got customer details, you might have child processing details or whatever, okay? But you're actually much easier to get into. And according to Hiscox, which is like one of the big cyber security insurers, 36% of cyber attacks last year were for businesses employing under 10 people. Okay, so that's an and actually if you look at businesses employing under 50 people, you're actually getting up to about 60% of attacks. Okay, so first of all, let's dispel a very common myth. Okay, hackers are not teenage boys sat in a bedroom with a hoodie. Okay, trying his luck. They are very, very sophisticated organisations. The big companies sell their products on the dark web. And these are big organisations, they're well organised. Think of a proper office with 100 people in it, with an HR department, and performance reviews. These are not little bedroom schemes. They're very highly organised criminal gangs. And these gangs, they run automated systems that will just send bots out, just looking for weak passwords, security patches that haven't been applied and things like that. And they'll exploit you in minutes. Ransomware attacks, okay, that's what we all hear about. Now, we'll hear about the ones where, VA are held hostage for 10 million quid, right? And we kind of think, well, they're not going to do that to us. And you're right, they're not. They're not going to hold, they're not going to hold my company ransom for 10 million quid, okay, because they know I'm not going to pay it, okay? It's just not relevant. But they might hold me ransom for £5,000 or for £10,000. £5,000 or £10,000, I'm probably going to pay that rather than risk losing my business, okay, if I haven't protected myself. And they're smart, they know that. They will even go into your system, without you knowing that they have done so. They will go in, find your business insurance policy. They will see how much your cyber insurance is. Your cyber insurance is £10,000. And they will demand £9,999 because they know how much your insurance is and your insurance will cover you. And so, how can we protect ourselves? Okay, one of the weakest things, like I say, is the person behind the screen. You have to be vigilant yourselves. It doesn't matter if you've got super encrypted passwords, two-factor authentication, and all those very clever bits. If you don't have them, and you're stupid enough to go and click on stupid things that don't quite look right, if something doesn't quite look right, but you think, I'll go and have a look anyway, you are the weakest link in your own defence, okay? So, what can you do? Learn, educate yourself, educate your team, okay? How to spot those phishing attempts, keep your systems updated, okay? Hackers exploit outdated software, regularly update passwords, use secure passwords. Don't use, I know everyone says it, so many people still do. Use password 123 across multiple sites, okay? If you can generate secure passwords yourselves, there are separate software packages that can do that if you want to. If you just want to keep it yourself, use something that I think is a really good idea to do. Use a format of a password. Okay, so don't use the same password, but use the same format for a password. So, for instance, you might use, you might start with the year and then, a symbol and then relate it to the website that you're visiting. So every time you log on to Ticketmaster, it's something with ticket in the password. Okay, so keep the format the same. Okay. So, but at least change the bloody passwords. Multi-factor authentication, two-factor authentication is really, really simple to set up. Okay, please use that. Download an app called Authy. Okay, if you have or something similar to learn to use multi-factor authentication. It just means if someone breaches your password, they're still not going to be able to get up onto there. The other thing is back up your data. Okay, whether you cloud back up, whether you physically back up your data. So if someone does compromise your data, at least you have a copy of it elsewhere. Okay, so look, that's it, guys. Small business might be the low-hanging fruit, but it doesn't mean you have to be an easy target. Remember, and the weakest link behind the screen, it doesn't have to be you guys and your team. Educate the team. Take some time to learn the basics and keep yourself safe.
Very good.
Very quick question, Stuart. These hacking companies, hacking farms, with all the tech men in their comps, would that be a good referral for me?
Right. Thank you very much, Stuart. Nice to have your weaknesses pointed out to you just as you were approaching Christmas.
Oh, well,
No. I have been neglectful in not welcoming Chris Mason, who is with us today. Apologies for that. I hope you enjoy the meeting. Right, we move towards the 60-second round. Chance to, in 60 seconds, advertise your business and give us detail of the sort of referrals that you will need. Before I do that, and as usual, send around the business card box, take cards for what you need to make referrals, and make sure you're adequately represented. Chris, if you brought any cards and you want to send them round, just send it round and the box comes to you. Right. As far as the 60-second round is concerned, Terry won the Oscar today. He's obviously stranded in Manchester due to count. Nick has kindly volunteered instead of Rich.
Strong arm was the word.
Strong arm. He will be listening out, and at the end of the round, will award the Oscar. Our timekeeper is here, looking ready for action. After 50 seconds, you will hear, and after 60, you will hear. When you hear the double bell, wind up and sit down. Right. I think on that basis, I think we're ready to actually go. Yes. Sorry. The other thing, yes. Put your piece of paper in the blue box. Blake has promised to decorate it further over the Christmas break, so we look forward to the new year. Right. So Nick will be first, and he'll be followed by Matt.
Well, good morning. My name's Nick. I think you all know I'm a structural engineer. Didn't Chris know that? Because I told you, didn't I? As you'll know from my 60 seconds, and in fact from my 10 minutes a couple of weeks ago, I talk a lot about steel beams. I actually do a lot more than just steel beams. I do structural inspection for people who are buying houses. They want to be sure that the house they're going to buy is in good structural condition. I mean, I know how houses are built, I know how they should be maintained, and I know what can go wrong with them. So I'm in a very good position to look at a house and tell the client exactly what, if it's in good condition or if it's not, what needs to be done to it if they're going to buy it. So that's what I do. My name's Nick. I can't in the box. If you know anyone who's buying a house, selling a house, please give them my contact details. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nick. More than just steel beams. Right, Matt, you're next, and you're followed by Mike.
Good morning, everyone. Matt Barry from Blue Seraph. So we're getting lots of calls, just starting to think about projects for the new year. Very interesting one yesterday. Very apt, based on the news this week. We had a client that's contacted us, interested in a new project, and they said, we really want you to pick up all your clients, especially all the big name ones, and especially in the oil and gas sector. So we've got some great experience, which is great. When I inquired a bit more about who the end client was, it's the current dictator in Equatorial Guinea, who's been in power for 40 odd years, wants to sell off all the country's assets and create a legacy. I said I'll do the stuff, I'll put the information in, but I think the ethical piece might need to be consulted on this one. But I thought it's quite apt considering the downing of one dictator. There's another dictator trying to sell off all his wares. Anyway, so interesting. I'll take countries, dictatorships, and any of those.
Thank you very much, Matt. Mike, you're followed by Ben.
Good morning, everyone. Mike from Backwards Media. Just a little reminder about a website refresh package that I offer. It's aimed at companies that haven't updated their website for a while and are looking for a mixture of new content rather than having to put it all together from different sources or do this themselves. Options include a video website banner showing what the company does, selection of photos to use around the website, and then some FAQs or about us videos introducing the company, its staff, or its products. This type of package can really refresh an entire website with minimal cost and time expense for people involved. Pricing starts from around £500 upwards. And if you know of any companies that could do with updating their website, looking a bit tired and out of date, please pass their details on to me. Mark at Blackpool's Media. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Ben, you're followed by Clara.
Good morning, guys. Ben Gilding from Utility Warehouse, and I help people save money on their essential household utilities. Now, we know that the price cap is rising again on January the 1st. Happy New Year. And however, there's still time to fix your energy now and beat that price rise. Because I can help people get the cheapest fixed deal available in the UK, which is around £200 below the price cap. I can get you great value broadband, and for our multi-SIM customers, we have even more amazing savings. So I'm looking to speak with people that would like to switch and save, and so that they can get on and enjoy their festive fun, knowing that they're saving money with the UK's cheapest, UK's most trusted, and the UK's most recommended utility company. Ben Golding, Utility Warehouse.
Thank you, Ben. Clara, you're followed by Andy.
Hi, Clara today from Down to Mortars and Financial Services. So, rates seem to be stabilising a little bit, so happy with all that. So I thought this morning I would mention a little bit more about my process and how I work with clients. So I start with a chat with them, just fairly easy. What do they want? What do they need? How can I help them? I know it sounds obvious, but actually sometimes what people actually need can be more complex. So really get into that. Then I gather the information I need and go back to them with options. What can they actually do? What might make sense? What things could they think about changing that will work better for them? And then I work with them and iterate from there to the point where I make a recommendation of how I think we should proceed. And then, assuming they agree and we're happy with where we are, we proceed with the chosen path. And then I hold their hand through the process from there. So that's very high level, but a little bit of a view into how I work. So if you know anyone who needs some help, that's Clara Down to Mortgages and Financial Services. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Andy, you're followed by Turkey.
Good morning, everyone. Andy from Global Hygiene. I started my company because the last companies I was working with, the engineer service was really poor. So I went to a school this week and did a risk assessment. And this is the type of client that would have probably had issues with as an account manager in the past. The hot water clarifier boiler wasn't working because their building management system was faulty. Which meant I could go and do most of the assessment, but most of the issues they had was because their hot water boiler wasn't on. So in the past, we've had to go back, charge extra, and blah, blah, blah. I've just said to them, look, I've done most of the assessment, I've done 75% of it, let me know when it's fixed, I'll come back and I'll update you the risk assessments. I've sent it off to them, they've got the full document, so they've got compliance, but I just an added bit of service. Rather than give me the risk assessment saying it's all faulty, I'll come back, it'll take me half an hour, and I'll just amend it, take temperatures, and make sure that your risk assessment is actually viable to your site. So if you've got any schools, etc., feel free to give me my contact number and you get my water.
Thank you, Andy. Toby, you're followed by Paul C.
Morning, everybody. This benefit, I'm a personal business mentor, and one of the roles of a mentor is to connect my clients with my network, bring them referrals. So I thought I'd offer out some of my client services this morning. Obviously, not ones that are already in this group, but I've got a flooring contractor that does domestic and commercial flooring, wet rooms, that sort of thing. Outsourced sales progression company, so like to be put in touch with estate agents and small house builders, tall house builders as well, not fussy. A fire and health and safety consultant, already Andy's had some work from him, or got a quote from him. Swim tuition. So if you know any adults or children that want to learn to swim, please put them in touch with me. If you need your head sorted out, I've got a hypnotherapist as a client and also a counsellor as a client. So any of those sorts of things, if you can put people my way to pass on to them, very grateful. Toby Acton, Pole Position Business Solutions.
Thank you, Toby. And why don't you
I have on multiple occasions.
Thanks, Toby. Next is Paul, followed by Catherine.
Morning all, Consolidated Plumbing Heating. Today's a bit of a topical topic. I think we've broached on it already. But basically, you've got you blokes face Christmas around the corner, January, February, frost, snow. And condenser pipes, our main call out are condenser pipes that are freezing. So basically, you've got the fluid coming out the wall, you have the condenser pipe about here, running down to a drain. This is the wrong size condenser pipe, but they always use this, plumbers, they're bloody marvellous for it. So basically, that will freeze. If that's outside, that will freeze. And what a lot of plumbers do, they use this insulation, they put it on there. This insulation is great for lofts, underfloors and airing cupboards. But as you can see, it's full of air pockets. It will fill up with water and freeze. And it will actually, ironically, cause that to freeze. So this is the stuff to use. It's called Armorflex, it's a bit more expensive. It's waterproof, weatherproof. If you have a look at your house, if you've got a condenser pipe running down the wall, you buy some of this from a local plumber's merchant, just wrap it around, just stick it on, job sorted. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Paul. The other alternative, as the president sings, just go out and spray it for heaven's sake. Thank you very much, Tina. Next up is Catherine. You're followed by Stuart.
Good morning, Catherine Foley, English Tutor Plus. So I've been looking at people's websites and adverts this week to see why mine's not getting really of business. I'd like more things there, just shopping around. And I've noticed that there's so many that are so badly written. Awful grammar, no punctuation, using the wrong you're, the wrong there. These things really grate on my nerves. They give a really bad impression because I think if you can't bother to check the details, why would you check the details on on work you're doing for me? So there's two answers to this, and this is what I'd really like to build up for my business. You can pay a proofreader, send it to me, I'll print it, check it, amend it, make suggestions and send it back, or pay a content writer. Now, although I've only got the experience of writing my own, I can write material. I've been writing and teaching people to write for 30 years. I can write material that's specifically tailored to your requirements, ensure it's accurate, persuasive and detailed. I can ensure the tone of the writing befits the customers that you wish to attract. Represents the image your company has to convey. So if you know a business that needs to ensure its content is a right impression, please put them in touch with me and I can help. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Catherine. Stuart, you're followed by Leanne.
Stuart from LG Networks. Yeah, banging on too much about it. Said just to follow on from my education slot. We provide Microsoft licensing and security. Microsoft will always come with a very basic level of security, but there are plenty of different things we can stack on top of that to create a good security suite that's relevant to your business, and that's important. It's got to be relevant to what you do. Okay, you don't need to be Fort Knox. Okay, unless of course you are Fort Knox, and then of course we can build the right stack for you there. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for businesses that want to obviously get their IT systems up to date, get their services up to date, and get their security up to date. So if you know anybody who needs some help with that, please get in touch with me. It's Stuart at LG Networks.
Thank you, Stuart. Leanne, you're followed by Vincent.
Good morning, everybody. Leanna Brooke from Interiors, and I'm an interior designer. I just want to let you know one thing I do offer is such as colour consultation for your home. Now, colour can be very tricky, and it does depend on your home and the way it's facing, so north, south, east, west. If you want it white in a north-facing room, it's best to go with yellowy red undertones in your white paint. Now, some websites are really good. They'll give you a description of the paint and the colour, the undertones of it. Others not so good. So this can be really confusing for some people. They paint the wall in the colour that they want, and then during the day they think, it's horrible, I hate this colour. Well, that's because of the different light. And even artificial light, yellow tones, white tones, everything makes a difference. So if you know anyone that's struggling with colour, doesn't know what to use in a certain room, they also have emotions as well attached to them colours. So red can be angry, but it's also love. So if you know anyone who's struggling with colour, put them in touch with me and I can help them. That's Leanna Brooke Interiors.
Thanks, Leanne. Sounds like a series of mockery, doesn't it? Brilliant. Thank you. Vincent, you're next. You're followed by James.
Good morning all. You've all heard my memory hook, speed print, you think it, we ink it. But what do the letters you think we stand for? Because it's an acronym. We'll go through it now. Y stands for you're in good hands. We see your job through from start to finish. O stands for the only printing company that gives you a business. U stands for understanding the client's requirements. We listened. T stands for tea, coffee and biscuits, served for anyone brave enough to venture into the war zone that is Gants Hill Village. How long have I got? We're going to get through this. H stands for haven't really thought this through and I'm about to run out of time. I, N and K stands for ink, which we do once you've thought it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben. That's very convincing. Thank you. James, you're next. And you're following.
Morning all, James Brown, for Chris's benefit and Ben's benefit, general insurance brokers, we do. Today, in particular with the mentioned property owners insurance, my day today is dealing with a client who has 57 different properties across about 4 different brokers, across about 12 different policies. Some of that might be for a valid reason, with regards to postcodes and constructions, and most of it is just a waste of time, effort and expense. So I'm going to be spending my day hoping to save them some money and make me some. Just following on from Stuart's education in 60 seconds, I might dip into cyber insurance next week. And one of the questions you get asked when you go for cyber insurance is, what are your security protocols? Do you outsource your IT, if security stuff there? If you say, oh, I got it on the TikTok shop, I'm probably not going to insure it. If you say, I've got it from Stuart, you stand better chance. James, Brown Insurance, general insurance brokers including fleet.
Thank you, James. Do you do fleet? No, it's just he's fast. Yeah. At the speed print, but he's fleet. Anyway, moving on. Glenn, you're followed by
Good morning, everyone. Blake from Emma Hive. You'll go to Airsoft and Outdoor Clothing Shop. For anyone who's got next week, it's Secret Santa. So if anyone wants to buy a gift card from me as a Secret Santa gift, that would be very interesting. What's that? What was that?
Google the 20.
Oh, I was talking about what gift cards that everyone's going to buy. Or hoodies, or t-shirts, or shoes, or anything for Christmas gifts as well. Come and see me. But Secret Santa next week, everyone wants to buy a gift card from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dave, you're followed by John.
Morning, everybody. Dave from Electrical. We carry out all forms of domestic, industrial and commercial electrical work. This week, we've sort of covered really all the areas we promote. So we've renewed some office lights in an office in Ingatestone. So we took out the old the old fluorescent tubes, put some new LED panels, and the guy there is now looking for a paint so you can see all the marks on the walls. We've upgraded some emergency lighting in a residential office block. It failed after a fire risk assessment, so we was there yesterday putting some additional emergency lighting. We've also completed a fit out of a small factory which makes cardboard boxes. They seem to be really, really busy at the moment, so we've done that. On the residential side, we're continuing with a new build rewire we're doing, and we've also carried out some landlords testing for their insurance policies. So anything electrical, please give me a call today from Mac Electrical.
You do. And John, you're next, followed by Scott.
Good morning, everybody. For the visitors, I'm John Hammond from JMH Technology, and we supply all the electronic security needs, whether it's access control, CCTV, or fire alarms. We have a number of big companies that use us. And why do they use us? Because they trust us. We tell them the truth and we're open and honest as far as we can be. And we tell them exactly what the problems are with their system. They might not like the answers, but they respect the answers. And that's why the big companies use us. So this week we had a break-in at the site. And originally we told them about all the extra security we should be putting on the site. We said that they said we've gone over the top, we were doing a bit Mission Impossible style. Now we've had to go back and say, we told you so. But they respect us, so they're looking at what they can do now to actually avoid the break-in. That's me, John Hammond from JMH Technology, the Prime Technology Security. And just touching on what Paul said, new expansion pipe as well, that freezes. That's what happened to us last year. We had a smoking drip down the barrel, yeah, that should No, that hasn't been changed. Oh, we've changed the mouth now.
Yes.
Anybody time? Scott, you're next, followed by Jane.
Yeah, so there's a real security theme today, so I thought I'd talk about the security side of the websites we look after next slots. So the solution that I provide, it protects 26 billion cyber attacks across the website, all the websites that they manage on their servers each year. A number of members here, their sites have been hacked, which we've gone in and looked after and tidied up. Hackers don't always want that financial benefit. They will hijack your site and publish content on your site that you don't know about, that they will then use to distribute their malware or their links to casinos or to buy Viagra or whatever it is without you realising, and massively damage your Google ranking and cause issues on your site. It happens all the time if you don't have all those doors locked and things in place to protect it. So you can buy cheap hosting, don't. You buy proper professional standard hosting with all of those protocols and procedures in place if you do it properly. And that's sort of service I'm quite thinking.
Thank you very much, Scott. Jane, you're next, and you're followed by Tina.
Hello everybody, Jane Mannion from the English Green Tea Company. Very busy right now with hampers. I've left Stone Gnome Roger filling them like mad. One of the things that we're busy with at this time of year is booze, alcohol. Not just Prosecco and champagne, but port and good wines and brandies and all sorts that make lovely gifts. And for that purpose, we have to have a fully fledged drinks license. So technically, we could run a pub at the Secret Scobery. Things might be looking up. My kids are desperate for us to call it the rabbit hole. I'm just going down the rabbit hole, Mum. And I'm open to suggestions if we ever do that. So Jane Mannion, fully licensed, like 007, to put in the treats in with the other goodies in your hampers. Thank you.
Jane, is that licence to fill? Excellent. Tina, you're next. You're followed by me, and I will be followed by Paul.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Peter. My company is called Liberty Executive Services. I offer a secretarial and admin service. Yes, and this is my gift to you all. This week, last week, we've been quite busy. I've been working with a private eye, which is quite interesting. So as well as just doing secretarial admin, I actually work with a private eye. So if you know anybody that wants to get some dirt on someone, I know someone that will be able to help you. So that's me, Tina, Liberty Executive Services. I'm not 9 to 5, I'm in
Thank you very much, I think I'll tell Terry he can take some credit for training you.
Yeah.
She attends meetings for Terry and trainers so she can make a quick getaway. Aidan Squire from TM Law. Next week is the final one. This week, the penultimate meeting of the year. So I kind of looked back and as to how you guys have performed as far as I'm concerned. I've had quite a few wills and LPAs this year, and employment issues frequently referred to me and to Terry as well, because we both deal with that. Shareholders' agreements and commercial leases I've had some, and I've had a couple of terms and conditions. Where you have slightly fallen down is you haven't sent me company deals, company sales, company purchases of assets or purchases of shares. I work with another solicitor, and as a team, we provide what we would regard as probably the best referrals we can get, because you can charge at a proper rate. There's a lot of work in them, and we have good expertise. So next year, going forward, think company sales, think asset sales, think share sales, and get them to me. That's Aidan Squire and Team Hall. And Paul Booth is the last of the members of contributions.
Paul Booth from Booth & Co Chartered Certified Accountants based in Brentwood. Preparing lots of accounts and tax returns at the moment, company accounts. Two big things I've noticed. Companies have got quite decent amounts of monies in the bank account, but they're not utilising those monies to earn interest. Saw a client on Tuesday, had £4 million in one of the bank accounts, no interest received at all. So he could be earning 160 grand a year, 4% interest quite easily. Another thing I've noticed, tax returns, where clients come to us, they haven't claimed high rate tax relief on their pension contributions, particularly work pension contribution. About 30% of people don't claim higher rate tax relief. So all good from Booth and Co, minimise tax, maximise wealth.
Thank you very much, Paul. That's the presentations of the members. I'd like to give Chris an opportunity to give us 60 seconds about your business.
I'll try and stick to 60 seconds. To be honest, I'll get through it quite quick. Hi everyone, I'm Chris, and my company's Jekyll, and we're a bit like Ron Seal. We do exactly what we say, which is stress-free business IT. Take stress and strains out of building all IT systems to free up your time to focus on the bits of the business that you enjoy. Going back to the security side of things, have been in discussions and also keeping things up to date. Microsoft next year is stopping support for Windows 10. So if you're running Windows 10, put a new laptop or PC on your Christmas list for this year. I'd just like to say thank you to James for inviting me along. It's been fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chris. Okay, that is the end of the second round. Our standard order of the Oscar. The next Nick, take it away.
Well, they've all been excellent. Very good indeed. Some better than others. This is where I come in. I thought Paul Paul's about your problem, the condensation problem. We all suffer from that. Catherine is great. It's something very close to my heart. Getting it right, getting it spelt right. Who else scored a 9.5? Leanne, your references to the subtle shades, white, any colour for that matter, it always looks different. Oh, I know that. But actually, the award does go to Paul for using a prop. It's the only prop that was used today. We all like a prop. Paul's the man. Well done, Paul.
Thank you very much, Nick. Well done, Paul. Right. We will move on. The natural move on from our 62nd round is the meeting of the secretaries, of course. Scott.
Yes, thank you very much. Last week I put a question out on I think just a WhatsApp group asking you to leave a review for our listing on the networking website. And I promised points to all of you who did, so thank you. Some of those points, for some of you that were the super early ones, were already on the system. You scored those points. And there's about another 8 or 9 of you whose points will go on for the tally today. So thank you for doing that. It does help, I'm sure, just to elevate us amongst all the other networking sites out there, just to show how wonderful we are. Thank you, Matt, for reminding us that it is it's Santa jumper, Christmas jumper day today. I've really missed that one. Normally, we do a donation. We collect a little bit of money from those who want to take part, and we do donate that on to the appropriate charity. Should we do that next week instead? Yeah. All put in our fivers and £2, whatever. A donation of your choice into a pot, which we'll pass around. And then we'll forward that on to the charity, which is Save the Children, Matt, is that right? It is, yes. So I think it's a very worthy cause that we should probably be supporting as a group. So yeah, fivers or £2 or tuppence or whatever. A request, an awful lot of messages on the WhatsApp group saying, oh, I can't make it this week. Yeah. I know you're all here, so it's not from you guys. Say it to the group because the group is listening as a video. If you can't make it, don't tell everyone. Just tell me and Hayden. Drop a polite email to say, I'm really sorry, this reason has caused me to not be able to attend the meeting. It's fine, I understand. When you put it onto the group, it creates a catalyst effect. That they're not coming, oh, I'm not coming either, or they're not coming, there's no one there, I'm not going to come. It just becomes a negative, which we try. So, yeah, the I'm not going to be here. It's a private email or a private message to me, Aidan, Ben, Terry, leadership team, whomever, but not announcement to the group. And yes, that's all.
Yeah. May I add one thing to what Scott said about your donations, where you give freely to your jumper. If you don't come with a jumper, you'll be fined a fine.
Yeah.
There you go. So we'll see you all in your fine next year. Right, moving on. 10-minute presentation.
Yeah. Lovely. So today we're having a Q&A for our 10 minutes. But before we get started with that, just give you an update for next year. Now, I can't believe we're getting these sorted out already. So obviously, next week is our last meeting of, say, Christmas jumpers at the ready. Make sure you bring your Secret Santa gift as well, if you want to take one home, that is. And we'll be doing a special Christmas celebration for our 10 minutes then. But moving into January, so back on the 9th of January, Terry will be providing the 10 minutes and I'll be doing the education slot. On the 16th of January, Leanne will be doing her 10 minutes and the education provided by Mr. Paul Booth. Moving on to the 23rd, obviously neither of them are here today, but Joshua will be doing his first 10 minutes for us and Paul DeLue will be delivering the education slot. And finally, on the 30th, we'll be doing the 10 minutes and I'll be doing the education later. When it's your turn to do the 10 minutes, please go to the website and download the bio sheet and get it to me a day or two before your presentation. And if you can't do either your 10 minutes or your slot for whatever reason, please let me know. As soon as possible, we'll do our best to try and swap things around to get you back in at an appropriate time. And remember to allow 8 minutes for your presentation. If you want to allow 2 minutes for questions, don't forget to bring a speaker's prize. So I'm now going to hand back to Aidan, because I've got nobody to introduce today. So we're going to be hosting a Q&A.
Right. So you will all listen very carefully for all 60 seconds. That provides you all with at least one question to ask one person. And Paul's first.
Yeah, a question for Dick Hawkins. The Arm Flex pipe integration. I see you can get it on Amazon.
Yep.
40. Does it only come in black, or can you get it in white as well?
No, it's only black. Yeah, you can paint it, but it'll probably fly white.
Okay.
And presumably, if you paint it, you're going to get the right temp.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
That's fine.
It's not that.
That's fine. That was my question. Yes, John.
LPA. How many people here have got LPA?
I
haven't.
For ourselves?
Yes.
I'm young for that.
Too early.
I don't think.
She drives it too early.
Really? Well, I just sorted one out for my mum and she's in her 70s. Yeah.
So have you heard of Covax?
John.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much. That is, it is a good question. The reason you might lose mental capacity could be hit by a bus, it could be having a seizure, it could be all sorts of things that aren't necessarily related to old age. And although typically old age is the thing that brings on, brings that on. Nonetheless, you really ought to think very seriously about an LPA, largely because, particularly if you're with a partner, the other needs to be able to handle anything smoothly that comes along, particularly if it's an accident and suddenly we've got to manage accounts that aren't in your name. So yes, always think about it. You can always approach me and talk to me about it, and I'll happily give you a heads up on what we might or might not need.
Leanne, I've got a question for you, dear. So, when we were catering weddings back in the day, people used to say, well, perhaps we're going to have lemon, and then let's just have chicken, and maybe just have fruit salad. They went so bland because they were terrified of upsetting someone. And so, do you come across the people that want everything in magnolia because, you know, it might be too much to go for a colour? So that can encourage those people into something a bit more reflecting a personality.
Thankfully, I haven't met anyone that just wants. I've got a client that just wants grey still.
Really?
I'm working on them. it is setting out their comfort zone. Right. And it's just working with them and helping them there. The best thing is really for a bit of talent. Not that I'm a big bold talented person, but yeah, it's better to have talent.
Thank you. But conversely, my father had terrible taste. And he would go and choose 4 wallpapers that he thought were lovely and put them all in the same room, one per wall. Oh, he wouldn't have coped very well.
No, no. Oh God, no.
Thank you, Jenny. You haven't mentioned your red walls, have you?
No, my red wall. My house is dark green, red, a Christmas house.
It is. Lovely.
But not in one room, not green and red.
It's a question for Clara, but also probably for Howard, who isn't here. But got quite a few years left on my mortgage, and so we're trying to make every effort we can to overpay and make it better for us in the future years. But chatting to some friends, and one friend in particular who listens to lots of money and finance podcasts and things, my ISA hugely is outperforming the rate of inflation and rate on my mortgage. And the advice on those programs was everything you're overpaying, don't overpay your mortgage, overpay into your 20% stocks and shares ISA. Stick everything in there and then take that money down and overpay. And the recommendation I've always understood is try and deal with the mortgage bit first and then your savings onwards. What's your view on?
If I'm honest, I actually try and I'll have this conversation a lot with clients, and it depends a bit on the client. Some people aren't very good. If it's in a savings account, they will spend it. So for those people, if they really want to pay down their mortgage, I'm like, okay, let's get your mortgage at an affordable level, and then let's plan an overpayment in so that hopefully you pay it down sooner. But if they are somebody who actually is better at saving and they are good at doing that, then actually I would agree. I think you can be much better off to put it in a high performing account, as long as it's not a high risk account, but a high performing account, and then look at overpayments in future. And the positive with that is if your circumstances change, especially when you own your own business, you have that fund that you can reach to. And that's the trouble with overpaying the mortgage. If actually you get to a point where, I don't know, maybe the business isn't doing so well or whatever like that, the bank isn't going to say, here you go, have £10,000 of this money back that you've overpaid. All of a sudden, what are you going to do? Whereas actually, if you put it in a savings account, you do have more of a rainy day fund. So I think that's a really good option to look at. The other thing that I do think is overlooked sometimes can be an offset account. And looking at actually having a mortgage account which has an offset associated with it, and then actually you can offset the interest, but you're actually saving up the money, so that actually it's not tied into the mortgage, but you're not paying interest on the funds there. And you can actually reduce the term that way, so you're still paying the same amount but reducing the interest. So I think there is a lot of different options, but it really does depend on the client as to what the next thing is. But overall, yeah, reduce down the mortgage as quickly as possible. You're paying an awful lot less interest over the term.
We look to still there.
A question for young Andy, actually. So where did contaminated water, where does the word Legionnaires actually come from?
Legionnaires comes from a hotel in America, and the American Legion were having a convention there, and 20 died, and there was lots of illness. And it came from a cooling tower on top of the hotel, and the air intake for the building was below it, so letting off sort of mist down inside the building and then sucked into the hotel where the convention was.
So the name of the hotel then? Legion?
No, the American Legion were there, so that's where it come from. It took about 18 months to find out what it was, and then from that, they obviously autopsies and things like that, they found out that there was a waterborne.
When they found out what it was, did they just automatically say, "Oh, I know what it is. It's Legionnaire's disease"?
I don't know the ins and outs of it, but yeah, it was obviously a type of pneumonia that got into the lungs.
I'm not satisfied with that. Sorry.
Probably
serious.
You think it?
Yeah.
Just for anyone.
Scott, so yeah, I think, or Howard possibly as well. Stuart, even. I'd like to do some Google Ads training and learn a bit more about it. Do you know of any courses, places I could go to, things you recommend, anything like that for that sort of training?
Google Academy.
Is it? Jason?
Yeah, they. It's one of those. Years back, I went through all the certification and was qualified to provide that service, but it changes so hugely quickly.
Yeah.
It's a much bigger beast than it was a decade ago.
Yeah.
But in principle, you can do it yourself pretty easy. There's some easy basics you can do, and yeah, the Google program is a free training course that should go through the basics. Depending on the scale of the campaign you want to do, there's some really easy mistakes you can make that will cost you a fortune if you get them wrong.
Well, so I've done some basic Google advertising before, where you go in, you set your target age and you put target area and that sort of thing, you send it out. And then I was ended up getting adverts coming back from Kent saying, I've just seen your advert. It's like, well, I'm in Colchester. So yeah, there's things like that where it's not as obvious.
Check out Google Academy. It's generally really, really good for lots of things, not just Google Ads, but it'll teach you about analytics and lots of different stuff like that.
I think I was about to ask you, there's also a website called Coursera, which does add training, not necessarily towards Google, it's free as well. It's got a load of transfers and that's what I use.
Coursera.
So it's basically a course for the era.
James.
Joe, not that I'm wishing to wish you away Christmas because I haven't actually started Christmas shopping yet. Are you doing anything at the Secret Scullery or Scullery for Valentine's?
No, we're not. And there's
Damn it, I've got to think of something else then, haven't I?
The reason is we only sell tables and two, and they are our least productive financially. But we're much better from a personal point of view of having tables of 5 and 6 and 8 and so that's much better. So yes, it will fill the scullery with just 5 tables of 2, total of 10 people. It's not worthwhile for us. We are open though. There's still brownie pots for Mothering Sunday, which is in March next year. That will sell out twice 9. So Mother's Day is the one. But
Swingers Valentine's Party.
Swingers. Right. Well, maybe Valentine's with a difference then.
Yeah. Right.
So you
So up for that.
Or you said the text.
Yeah, I'll direct this to Stuart as we directed the password apps. I've trying to get my head around them over the years. I'm still using the same password. I know I can say it, but it's they're quite safe if they're in a little the back of my drawer. But I know it's sensitive to use the password, the changes constantly. Is there a particular app for the factors?
To change constantly. Suddenly it's this queuing, you just rotate randomly, you don't want to go, you don't want something to sit there to the job. The other thing is, you can use it on your browser. That's probably the easiest way. The other thing you go to use
Yeah.
the browser. Yeah.
I've got a Vast. Is that any good? They do their own browser.
No, that's what you're probably using Chrome.
Chrome? No, it isn't Chrome. I use it's the little thing on the train.
Well, have you tried turning it off?
I'm making
Most browsers will have
We use one called Long Password, which is brilliant. But the other thing that's really good about it is it ties in with some sort of security service that tells you if your password has actually been compromised. So
Mostly, if you save your password in browsers, then they will tell you for they will check that against the list of that they know are compromised passwords. If you've got compromised passwords, then you need to. Especially if you use one password for a lot of sites and it becomes compromised, then it's a lot of work to then go through and change those bits. I don't know if they do it.
I'm a quick one. Yeah, you'll have to change it from PASS, but
Hello.
Well, after Mr. James.
Just to follow on with the passwords, because that goes so smoothly. I have to go on dozens of portals for different insurers and premium finance companies. I always just save password because I'm never going to remember it. Is that a danger?
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume it is.
You don't want to do it. So, again, I've got to go to the portal, so you're going in via a browser, right?
Yeah.
So just have the browser generate a password for you. So that's the simplest way. It's not perfect, but it's a million times better than just using password every time.
Yeah, no, I'm not using the same one, but I'm saying, so I will get, and it will be a real random generated password, and it says, click to save passwords, and it's not going to that portal automatically.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's only my laptop I'm using it for, so is that an issue? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll follow that. Surely your laptop goes dead, then there's access to everything because you have.
Sorry?
If something happens to your laptop, do you not then lose access to it?
No, because you're signing into the so if you put your laptop in a lake and you get the laptop, you re-sign into that browser.
Oh,
okay. So anything to cloud service and the device that you're accessing it on is completely irrelevant. Yeah, that's that device can go chuck to your lake, and then when you sign back in
my head, Chrome or something was still computer based rather than cloud based. But
don't lose your laptop in your phone the next time.
Chris, final word for Chris, and then we'll wrap it up.
Chris, just going to suggest that I use a system called RoboCall for all passwords, and it's about 30 per year. We're seeing across all your different devices, phones, laptops, desktops. There's plugins for Firefox, Chrome, Edge, etc. So pretty much work across everything. Plus, if you have a team of staff, everybody can have their own account. So you can then effectively share the logins to the different portals that you've got. And if you or that member of staff leaves, you just turn everything off and it's all gone. It's all encrypted, it's all backed up to the cloud, etc. It is free for one person, one user, one device. So you can sort of cheat the system by backing your passwords up and restoring it into your other account. But
Okay, thank you all for your contributions. Paul's library when we have a Q&A. Let's get on with the referrals and testimonials round. Paul, could you do the running, please?
Yeah, sure. Good. Yes, Scott, Stu, that's the way to think of that. Lunch one with you, Aidan. Thank you. 2 testimonies for 2 ex-members of the meeting.
There's not got one for James. We've done our business insurance stuff renewal in January.
Is it my contact yet?
Not yet, but it's normally about now.
Probably John, and he probably won't tell me. So.
Yes, yeah. Other one is for Matt. Thank you for Passport campaign. Completely agree with what you're saying. It's got about telling people when you're not, I'm not here this week. So that's generate that thing. And whilst I completely agree with that, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas, everybody. Excellent. Oh, one-to-one as well.
Excellent essay. Really drove the whole content of the meeting, and I think no one's going to do any work this morning because we're all going to be changing our password. So I have a thank you to the money to Scott, you can have it, and Paul to do for a whole load of different things. And one with you next week. Very good 10 minutes there last week. It's such a nothing concrete this week. I'm working on a couple of referrals from members. Hopefully after Christmas we'll get them sorted out. Thank you.
Got a couple of referrals this morning. got a nice one for Jane for Christmas hamper for a well-meaning client in Brentwood.
Thank you.
I've got another referral for Jane. This is for another client who gives me loads of work. Another big hamper. I'll leave it to you to fill it up with whatever you want.
Thank you very much.
I've got a referral for Josh, our new architect, for a job. Who it's not this? I'll say it for him when I see him next. And for Scott, who's in my website. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks for the slot, Stuart. I'm going to change my. I've got the same password for everything. So yes. I've got one to one with James. Boy makes a nice cup of tea. Anyone wants it. I've got one to one with Matt. So not good enough to do the other one. I've got a referral for Aidan. I know you speak about the questionnaire. Yeah, thank you. And also for David for a rewire. Thanks a lot.
I've got some unused activity records and some referral slips. Welcome, Chris. Hope you come along next week. There was about 6, maybe 7 members not actually here this week, so if you come back next week, you might get to meet them too if you're lucky. And I've got a thank you for the money for Howard. Thank you very much. Howard.
That's it. Yeah, good meeting, lively again. Thanks for the slot. Might have to do something on cyber insurance now, although I don't like it. One-to-one with Paul. If anyone else comes around, you might get the nice cups, but you've got the traders' cups because. Does anyone else do that?
Yeah.
You have cups for your friends and you have cups for traders. Can't trust them. Can't trust them. It seems to be dodgy going on. And referral for the reason he came around like a massive boiler blew up in the Friday morning. So very whole weekend. Thank you for testimony of the forum.
Yeah.
That's
Brian, where's Stuart? Not listening. I can't remember if I gave you a referral talk for doing the radiators.
I don't
know. No. Have a referral for doing the radiators. And next week I will have 20 thank you for the money stream on for gift card.
Thank you, interesting meeting. Always love the Q&A sessions. Nice to meet Chris for a chat after the meeting. It's an interesting one. This is a thank you for the money for Matt. I didn't do anything for Matt. I did the morning's work for Paul. I was just a money order. Because Matt is the business that's set up as the invoicing channel through this other big company. I had to invoice Matt so that Matt could invoice, then get paid, and then it was confusing. Really confusing. Yeah, that's on video now, isn't it?
I won't pass you a piece of paper, so I didn't make a referral to Paul, who helped my son before, at least clarified it, but nothing came of it. So, thanks for your help anyway. And it's nice to see it would turn out, despite the many messages that there were turning up. Nobody else was deterred. Well done.
Thank you very much for making this slot. I'm dreadful with passwords, so I'm going to have to be doing that all morning. So I'm going to have you look at them, see.
Everyone is.
It's the same one for everything, I think. But no, thank you very much for starting us off nicely. Got further what we spoke about earlier on. Get that over to you today, so I'll do an email as soon as I get back. Great to meet you, Chris. Yeah, thank you for coming. Aidan, I might actually, your company sales that you're asking for, I might have something for you beginning of the year on company sales. So,
absolutely brilliant.
Never know, watch this space.
I will.
Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow night. Go out there. And happy birthday, Aidan.
Yes.
Can we give me a bump?
And I got to the stage and I'm trying to forget before I remember. Thank you all.
After every day, Stuart, this was my last one this month, so I'll sit all in January. My gift to you is scrapers. This time last year, it came up on my menus, we had some. You never know.
All good for cat this one.
Or something that really big sprinkle of nuts.
To use it to stir fry.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not
Okay, don't use it.
Lovely actually. Really interesting. And while we're all thanking Paul for things, I also called you up about boiler advice when they got a response of, I'm at the pub, can I speak to you in a bit? Phone goes through, so it's all good. Chris, nice to meet you. Can I just remind you, what's the password program you mentioned? RoboForm. RoboForm. Yeah. Well, I'll write that down. Thank you for the money to Matt. There you go. Lovely. Cheers. Smooth choices.
Yeah, my apologies for not doing the 10 minutes this morning. I just didn't feel my head was in the right place to do all of that. So I think I might ask Shannon if she can come along next week. She likes a good Christmas jumper and celebration, so I think she might come along. And I'm actually away the first week in January, hopefully going to see my nephew, which I think will do me a lot of good. So I probably won't see everyone until kind of middle of January now. So Merry Christmas from me. And I know I said last week I'd get everything sorted with what I haven't put into the system, and I will get it sorted. And I promise I will send Shannon along. I'm taking the activity records to make sure I fill them in and give them to her to bring along next week. So my apologies if I do owe. I will get that all sorted before the end of the year. But other than that, lovely to see everyone. And I'm sorry I've been a bit in and out for the last little bit, but I will be back on fire middle of January. So I'll see you all then.
Don't forget to tell Shannon to bring you Christmas fully on.
It's already on the list.
And Secret Santa.
Yeah.
Stuart, thanks for. I've had the same password since I was 16, so. But yeah, it's probably all sorts out there about me.
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
I mean, it's even easier than that. But so yeah, I'm in big trouble with any cybersecurity people. Yeah, great meeting. I haven't got anything else to speak, but I'll see you all next week.
You comment.
No, I'm just it's brand new, so I thought I'd have to wear it.
Yeah, I'm another one with awful passwords, so if you knew my favourite author, you'd know all of my passwords. A couple of thank you for the monies. First of all, Stuart, thank you very much for Abby's. In fact, she sent me another one yesterday. My daughter suggested that I introduce a surcharge for late sending, because apparently you told her to give me a week and she gave me 3 days and now 1 day, but that's fine. And another one for Matt, thank you, because that your wife's recommendation led to a £60 personal statement package, which I was very happy about. Thank you.
Tell me it's Edith Lighton and it's been.
No, it's not Enid Blyton, but I do like it. Did like Enid Blyton. Nothing wrong with a bit of Enid Blyton. Develops a good reading habit.
Get the password.
Yeah, get the password. I'm not too bad with my passwords. Remembering is difficult, so they get changed quite a lot. So that's all right.
Honestly, if there's ever watching this video.
Yeah, got a lot of information about everybody. And that's the secret. Work along and see most of you tomorrow night, I suppose. I'm sure. But thanks. Great.
Yeah, great meeting. Nice to meet you, Chris. I was going to pull you further with Stu, but he's already said you can't do it, so I told that one off. I got a referral for Dave. I want some advice on an EV charger. Not sure whether I put the referral in for the vehicle insurance, but I will check my records for the payment copy anyway, but I will check it before putting it in. And I will see you all, before I say that, on about spoofing and emails now. I got a HMRC email saying, be aware of the minimum wage increase, you can go on this learning thing. And within 5 minutes, I got another one, it looks exactly the same thing. Click on this link because you've underpaid the minimum wage.
You can check the link before you click on it.
Yeah.
Right click it, it'll tell you that it's somewhere in Zambia.
Exactly. So just be aware of that.
Fantastic meeting. Great Christmas job, Matt. Are you here next week?
That'll be a different
one.
Ooh. Two jumpers.
Excellent slot. I think I'm pretty good on the old passwords and I use Orphe as well. But we've had some records recently for the one-to-ones. Andy and I had the smallest one-to-one. I think we had the coldest, the scariest, the furthest away. So Howard and Melissa and I had the shortest the other day. Lasted less than a minute. Story of my life. So I'm not going to put it on the system.
Like you usually do.
Yeah. Was that non-referral useful to you?
It was, yes.
But
the recommendation was useful.
The recommendation, there you go. In my 60 seconds, I didn't mention about a couple of my clients that are VAs, because obviously Tina's here, but I've sent you those details. One of them runs a VA listing, which you can get a free listing on. That could be useful to you. Welcome to Chris, and looking forward to the Wordle party tomorrow night. Yeah. Four, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't passed any business to anybody around stuff. If anybody does want to know I'm sewing, if you've got my card, by all means scan the back of it. If you aren't closed, book it a one-to-one. We can have a chat online. I would be very interested in bringing chat about one of your clients, one of my clients. So that'd be great. Thank you very much for everyone for inviting me.
See you next week.
Very good on the Christmas jumper. Mine is in the car, but it does need a bit of repair because most of the tinsel is falling off. So I'll leave that to your imagination. But yeah, I've got a collection. If anybody wants to buy one, let me know.
Thanks, Chris. So I've got thank you for looking to Nick Cook. This was the previous hunter order. And I've got thank you for the money to Nick Cook. This is the latest order. Thank you for that. Very pleased you were able to make it. Chris is coming to mend my broken computer tomorrow. And he came to one of our afternoon teas at the Story. That's how we met. Well done for setting us off today. We just had nothing to talk about. Genius. And that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jane. Right. Calling the water order.
We can see who would have won.
It'd be the end of my name.
One week notice.
And anyone of that lot. And then, who would have won?
Nick Cook.
Oh,
Right, okay, now we've come towards the end of the meeting. Want anybody to announcements to make?
Yes. Yeah, so tomorrow, 7 p.m. tomorrow, CC's obviously.
Hey, quiet.
7 p.m. at CC's, yeah, I'll send the link. Have you got the address on there? I'll send it again. I think it's going to be a logistical nightmare trying to get everyone to pay and try and work out what to pay. So I think the best thing to do is when we go there, we all pay for the meal first. And then at the end, we'll sort out the drinks. I've got a feeling it might have something to do with that. I've got a feeling, I'm not sure. It's not up to me.
You can just do a back transfer to somebody.
Well, the bit that's going to be standard is we're all going to eat the meal. We all know what we're going in for, but drinks is always.
The meal's preset, so it's one price. Yeah. That's it. So I think it'd be easy if we just go in. So almost it'd be two separate bills. So we pay one at the start, one at the end. I'm going to call them up today because I've got to cancel your wife's. She's not going unfortunately. So I've got to try and get that. They're a nightmare to get hold of. So we'll try and cancel that, and then I'll speak to them about how if we can settle the bill first.
Yeah.
And then sort out the drinks afterwards.
Yeah. Well,
Paul, I'm going into Chancellor later. If you want me to go in, that's easy.
Yes, I have yours.
Yeah.
Yes, but they're an absolute nightmare to find. Yeah.
Oh, what time do you meet in the pub first?
Well, I'm hoping. I think tomorrow's going to be a nightmare day for me at work. I'm hoping I would get there like 6:30, hopefully. Yeah.
Which pub?
I don't know any pubs. What's the Slug and Lettuce? Is that the one?
There's one next door to it, I think.
Yeah, there's one next door. So do you know where you've got the in between the streets?
Or the Ale House.
Brew House. Brewhouse. The one we went to with Paul.
Brewhouse is excellent.
Right next to the station. And lots of space in there.
But of course, the station is a long way away from
You can do, or you can. So if you go past Zzz's, so Zzz's on the left, go past, and literally there's a bridge. And if you turn right, that bridge is fucking legs. That's really nice. Yeah. And it's right next door to the restaurant.
Luckily, I've got a Zzz's establishment as well, so I'm hoping I can use that instead of pay.
I bet you can't describe it now.
We're getting most of the Christmas meal, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So, just to be clear, though, for those of you who are going, we go. Is it the Slug and Lettuce?
That's the pub.
Right. Slug and Lettuce. If you're not going to go straight to the restaurant, go straight to the restaurant. Don't get there before 1:45 or something like that.
Yeah. I'm in the middle. We sit down for 7. So yeah.
Okay. Any other contributions before we shut down?
I've got one thing to add out, but it can be done after.
Right, okay. I will therefore send you on your way to a miserable day, but won't we meet up on Friday?
Yes.
Yeah.